Hello there and welcome back to Simon's Shed again. It's time for another video. I think I've managed to do one every week for the past 3 or 4 weeks, so really getting the bug back for the hobby in general, and getting back into the habit of doing the videos and doing some more work on the layout. So it's all good at the moment, but I have had some time off work, so I'm not sure how that's going to continue now that I'm back at work, but we'll see. I'll try and keep the habit going, and as I say, really enjoying it at the moment, so it's all good. So we've got the, I'm still going to do the Class 08 DCC conversion, wiring the chip in. I'll order the chip probably next week, so the video should be a week or so after that. But this video is another SVR Severn Valley Railway layout update, number 11 I think. So coming up, sidings, continuing the Severn Valley loop, ordering supplies, and plan of action. So what I've been doing is this section across the back here. Because the boards are already laid, I thought I may as well lay as much track as possible on top of there. So we've got the 2 mainline loops here, and there'll be a station platform there, but we've got 2 sort of old sidings, so I've got the track ready for those, so I'll get that laid, and then they run into a point here and they join onto the main line there. Don't think it's actually used much, if at all, in real life, but I'm going to wire it up anyway, just in case I want to store anything in there while I'm running the trains. So this was already in, and this is a point off the main line that actually connects to the Severn Valley line, which is pretty close to how it's laid out in the real thing. So I've laid this now. I think this was already done, but we've got this point here that goes back, and I've just got to put 2 tracks here. They go to a sort of 2 sidings, and there's a building there as well. So I'm going to model that as closely as I can to the real thing. Then I've added a line down here. This is all done. Going back again, this is the Severn Valley line, which joins up to here. This is laid but not glued down yet, so it's all wired up and everything. But the Severn Valley line will come in towards Kidderminster, and it does split off into 2. It's a longer run than this, but I've had to shorten it for the model, because I would need a 10-metre long shed. So this is all new stuff, and this goes out into 2 lines, which will be the 2 lines that go into Kidderminster station on one platform. That's the Kidderminster Severn Valley station, and then this will have, it needs another board, but this is the other line which also splits into 2 and goes into the platform on the other side, the other platform. So that's what I've been doing. So I'll get as much as I can done, but that is what remains of my solder supplies. So I've ordered some more from Rapid Electronics, and also I've somehow managed to use almost 100 spade connectors and suitcase connectors, whatever they're called. So I've ordered another 100 each of those. Right, done a bit more. So those 2 sidings I've shown you, with the station over there. In real life it looks a little bit like this. and you can see I think there's actually 2 tracks at the back, whereas I've only got 1, but we got to stop somewhere. We couldn't quite fit that in, so we've got this one which will butt up against that platform, and the one behind it. This is all now laid and powered into the point and back, connecting to one of the 2 main lines. So that's another little bit done. And if we carry on down here, so 2 main lines, and these are the Severn Valley lines going out of Kidderminster, joining together into the single track. And I've now carried on a little bit more, finding this bit really fiddly. It's taken me a long time to do this, because you've got to build all the curved track bed and get the track. You can only lay so much track at once, because you obviously have to let the glue dry underneath, otherwise it's not springing out of shape. And you can see I've got to here with the screws, so that was yesterday. That glue should be now pretty much dried, and obviously that's just temporary. It will go across to here, and there's Arley Station. So that was already laid. I've actually ripped this bit back up because it didn't quite line up with this bit, which is going to be Victoria Bridge, allegedly. So that's now pointing off in a reasonable direction. So if you line that up with there, I think I'm just going to put this new bit of track on and get rid of this one, because it just wasn't lining up. So do that again, make sure to get it right. Now for the bridge, obviously I'm not going to build the full Victoria Bridge yet. I just need to get the loop working and test it first. So I did build this temporary bridge, but it's turned out to be the wrong size and too high. I ended up having to, it's only fractionally, but it's not going to work. I've already cut it down once, but what I was saying is I made it the right height, and then found that when I came to try and join this track up with the this approaching track, they were different heights. So I've gone round and used a level all the way around, but obviously tiny distances as I've gone around there all adds up, so that will come back along there. And obviously there's very small differences in height, and they've all added up. And when we get back to the joint, it was I mean, it was still only sort of say 10 mil, but that's quite a lot in N-gauge. So I've managed to level things back up. I've had to unscrew all this and get it back, try and level it up a bit more, and so bringing that down and bringing this side up a tiny bit to try and ease out the difference. So yeah, this has taken me a long time to do this bit, quite fiddly, and I'll tidy that frame up under there. It's not the it's not textbook carpentry, but it is rock solid, so that's the main thing. And obviously the scenery will cover most of it, and I'll do something around the edges to make it all look neat and tidy, but that's further down the line. We'll get the track finished first. So once I have got that bit connected up, there's only 2 sections of track remaining. As I said earlier, the line into Kidderminster, which branches off to there, and that should be there, to there. and they go down here. And as you can see, I've started thinking about how I'm going to support that, because obviously that's going to be the same level as all of this. So there'll be I'll just do a long thin bit just for the track and the middle platform, I think, which means I can do the rest separately on separate boards that I can perhaps carry into the house and do that inside instead of in the cold shed. So I need to get a board running probably just past that support there. That's how long the station's going to be. I think it's pretty much to scale actually. I've pretty much done all of it in terms of the length of the Kidderminster SVR platform. So that should be a nice long run down there into the platform. And then, not sure if I said, but this other bit here is the sort of sneaky bit, so I can run it as a loop rather than, I can run it end to end by sending the trains in here, or there'll be a point somewhere here where I can sneak the trains off. Well, they'll go this way, won't they? Round in a loop. Sorry if I'm making you dizzy. Into Arley, and then scenic board there, so it's hidden, and then they'll sneak across the bridge and back in to Kidderminster here. So that's one section that still needs doing, and the other one is just the turntable bit. So as you come out of Kidderminster Severn Valley Station, on this side, so here, there's a turntable, and let me show you the plan. They've just built, so here's the Severn Valley Station. You come out, and then if you were coming out, on your right would be the turntable and the new diesel depot which they've just built. So I've been trying to find photos of that, but I may have to go down and well, it'll probably be best to go down and have a look really and see how the track's laid out, just to check that it's like that. So yeah, this bit's got a turntable. So what I'm thinking at the moment is just do a low-cost version first, which is there's a Pico turntable, which is about 15 quid, and obviously that for that money it's not motorised or anything, it's literally just a plastic kit that's a turntable. So I could lay the track in that sort of configuration and just have it non-motorised, non-working, and that would allow me to get that final section done. And then in the future, I've seen there's the ADM turntables, which are supposed to be brilliant, but are quite pricey, about £400. That's maybe something I can add down the line, or maybe try and motorise the Pico one myself. Not sure yet, but it'd be good just to get the final board down there with the final bit of track on, and that would allow me to start looking at what is next. So what is next? Well, once the track is finally laid, I think the first thing to do is have a tidy up in here, get all the sawdust hoovered off the track and the floor and everything, get all the junk and scrap bits of wood taken out, and then it's things like neatening up the woodwork, I think, chopping off overhanging bits like that. Definitely need to neaten up all the wiring, because I've just left it sort of dangling down now, so obviously cable ties and clipping it nice and neatly to the frame bars, tidy all that up, because there's sort of wires everywhere at the moment, just so I can get it working. And then after that, I think the main thing I want to do is lots and lots of testing on the track. to make sure it's all nice and reliable, and then we can start adding the point motors. Pleased with that progress, really. It's doesn't look like much of an addition there, but that was a really tricky bit that needed doing, so I'll get that finished, and then it's on to the as I say, the final 2 sections of track. So I'll show you that in the next update, but for now, thanks very much for watching. I'll see you soon.